Glory to those not who wait, but those who act, those who do not hesitate, charged with the inner light of knowing what must be done. Glory not for those who wait for the well-established road of security to be laid out before them, but for those with a soul full of passion, who are choicelessly driven to trust the path of love and compassion, even when led into a trust fall, even when led into darkness, only illuminated by the flame of the heart. All honor to those who recognize and initiate themselves as divine carriers and messengers of that glorious blue flame, the inner heart of the sun, seated upon the throne of God in the heart of all living beings. We are getting closer to the heavens now, our lives becoming a dance with angels, magicians, priests and priestesses, hosts and hostesses, fathers and mothers of the lost and mystic ages of lore, returning to us in essence and through the necessary earth-quaking, earth-shattering, shaking, natural disasters and collective traumas, forcing open the doorway to the new era. Every new moon initiates one of the 12 seasons of a year, is a portal. This next portal, this next month, opening to one of the most significant dimensional shifts of the year in one of the most important years of dimensional shift in our lives. The new moon taking place August 8th joins the star Sirius, which is very noteworthy, also conjoined with the planetary north node of Neptune. The points where Neptune conjoins the ecliptic depicts and defines the actual stream of Neptune consciousness as it evolves through time. Neptune, we could say, is where the supersoul, the heart of the cosmic being, connects to and is part of our own heart and soul. Wherever the sun is at the time of our birth is where we are creatively actualizing this reality by discovering and then embodying our own unique divine spark with purpose. Once established, the stream of connection with Source, Neptune, is what allows one to be carried and trusting of that stream, even should it lead us through the various battlegrounds of our contemporary day and age. No doubt, the highly evolved soul is a spiritual warrior. They do whatever they must in order to hold their torch high, in order to reach out and to spread the flame, to rekindle the hearts of our lost soul, our species, our lost world. Leo, where this new moon is taking place, is the courage and confidence to release and radiate our own heart and self-expression through the excitement of being alive and the reality of being created as divine spark of God. Leo is the reality, not the illusion, that we experience life by being at the center of it all. This is the sun, the circumpunct, the circle within the dot within a circle. This is our chariot, leading the way to experience, being born, being one, and an identity. The recognition that we can be who we were born to be, along with our own natural and God-given talents and gifts, is what keeps our souls alive. Again, the recognition that we can be who we were born to be, along with our natural God-given gifts, that recognition keeps our souls alive. Where we hold that light of recognition up to each other, we keep our souls alive. Where we hold this candle of recognition up to ourselves, when we recognize ourselves in the mirror, when we protect our own inner flame of self-recognition, we protect and keep our souls alive. I am your mirror today. In these words, feel and see the resurrection of your heart and soul. Join me in mutual recognition of our capability to redeem our souls, contribute our light, and be the movers and shakers, resurrecting this planet and bringing it up back to its proper place, situated as a cradle and fisher net of the heavenly bodies above. Receive it here and now. I charge you. You, radiant divine spark, you from heaven can be louder. The flame of your heart can grow brighter, can be bolder. The fire of your passion is becoming like a wildfire. With every breath you take, you are becoming taller. You know you have been a big fish in a small pond, and you can sense that you are about to break free now, because you can truly feel and you truly know that you can be doing more, that you can start being more, that you have more gifts and more power. You are starting to recognize that, and you do this your way, and it gets to honor your style. And what's more, in realizing how interconnected to the whole that you are, and in being that divine spark you were born to be, you can feel it now in your heart and soul that it is time to start being more demanding of spirit, more insistent that life, the world, and the people within it grow into betterment and be provided for with true love and true support. We are doing this by beingness right now. This is the seed of this particularly special new moon. And we are doing this right now because life is short. We have just this go around to be who we were created to be and to release ourself as our rawness, as the realness we were created as. To not merely dream it, to not merely talk about it, to be it, to live it. Fear not disappointment. Fear not rejection or failure. The only tragedy would be to wait and to miss the big show. It's coming sooner than you would believe it. Truth is, folks, most people in the world have two drives, fear and insecurity, fear and insecurity, fear and insecurity, fear and insecurity. And what's the result? People are boring. People are boring. Having all your ducks in a row is one thing, but we could at least be suffering in style. Have you ever considered you'd be helpful in loudly announcing yourself, even though you aren't already perfect? We're here to help each other out, to help each other pry ourselves from the abyss. It's okay to authentically reveal your location in whatever dimension of hell you are stuck in. This is how we put out the call to the angelic beings who will meet us there. And this is what we do for one another. The new moon is always a symbolic snapshot in time that is a seed for the forthcoming month. This snapshot includes the entire arrangement of the solar system. Now again, this new moon's potent, leading into a potent lunar cycle, opening into a very revolutionary second full moon in Aquarius, lightning strike, lightning bolt. Under this new moon, on the 8th, we observe a great number of planetary signatures. It's an evolutionary progression of the heart and mind coming. Now, Venus is now in Virgo, opposite to Neptune on the 9th, opens the door to seeing and observing our heart, reflected through committance, devotion, service. This is time to initiate heart energy flow that unites our heart and our purpose. This is, by the way, the only means to true satisfaction. We must individuate enough to know our God-given talents and traits which are unique to us, given from God, born with Leo. And then we offer this in some type of service, karma yoga, devotional service, back to the world. This is where we get our greatest satisfaction. Ram Dass's Guru Maharaji was once asked, how do I raise my Kundalini? His response was, feed people, clothe people. This focus, service, heart, flow, love, beauty, creativity is what will allow us to feel truly connected, truly carried. Again, this is the Neptune flow of consciousness. We can actually relax into our devotional service. We do work, but our inner heart experience is a cooling, a relaxing, and a being carried. This is the Virgo-Pisces axis. Charity, healing, spirituality, channeling. This is the perfect new moon to start a healing endeavor, a creative endeavor, a charitable endeavor, new ways of being in flow and contributing that individual expression back. Now here I am totally compelled to announce as well as share an exemplary call to action demonstrating this energy. My friend and a member of our community is raising funds for disabled and orphaned children in Kenya. Click the link in the video description, or you can go to www.bit.ly/born like this orphanage born like this orphanage. Again, link in the video description. Now, Kaylin and her partner Dan Copes have already gotten this orphanage moving together, self-sustaining, community, running off of donations and information. They got this started in their 20s. This began because Phoebe, the woman in Africa who runs the orphanage, fell in love with Dan's and Kaylin's music. Venus opposite to Neptune. That's how this charity began. Now, Dan Copes unexpectedly left his body within this last year due to stage 4 adrenal cancer. Kaylin has carried on the work. The orphanage has recently been displaced. They need land, food, shelter. Your contribution can help these angelic beings finish their dream of anchoring more heaven on the planet. You are invited to participate. It's the time to bring it. Now, asteroid Juno, the partnership asteroid, has been on the moon's south node for weeks, bringing to light the theme of partnership, relationship, new faces, old faces. How are we connecting? Is it meaningful? Is there a joining together of like minds? Are we on the same philosophical page? Do we have a sense of connection with purpose? Now, under the new moon, Juno joins Chiron and the new moon in a grand fire trine. It's time to stand up together, recognize and resurrect each other's souls, resurrect the meaning in our partnerships to bring healing and understanding to our old partnerships, to get up on our soapbox, to be proudly ourselves in fighting the good fight, and in supporting others to stand on their soapbox, go to the beat of their own drum, honor their own unique story, fight their own good fight. This next month is Lady Justice holding the flaming sword of truth and holding the flaming heart. Pallas Athena joins Neptune these weeks. This can be incredibly connecting the need for justice in our world via unconditional love. Now, important astrological signature. Mars is currently square the moon's nodes. On August 11th, this square is exact. There is a need here to apply conscious effort into acting, into initiation. Mars in Virgo is time to clean, time to wring it out, time to work it out, time to purify and get back on track. Focus on what is necessary. Now, this is where we can really be coming back to good health, coming back to a sense of openness, clarity, focus, and direction. And again, on a higher octave, on a higher dimension, this is an opportunity for us to actualize our service back to the world. This doesn't necessarily have to be grandiose. It doesn't have to be us saving the world by ourselves or single-handedly. There is a need for help and assistance everywhere, in every place, every shape, form, color, and size. What we are honoring is what can we do to bridge Mars, our individuality, self-autonomy, as well as desires. What do you want to do that can be a contribution? This is, again, going to really get us back on track with a sense of clarity, direction, but also, this is, again, the deepest level of satisfaction is us offering our individual contribution back to the collective in some type of service. That allows for the connection to be felt, and then we start to get carried. We start to see our own work come into fruition in a way where it's not labor. It's not like doing a 9-to-5 desk job. It's about resurrecting our soul's work with purpose and meaning. Now, under this new moon, we see Mercury transiting in a Yod formation the next several days. Gibbous phase quincunx Pluto, full phase quincunx to Neptune. This is a very powerful, penetrative, scrutinizing mind. Seeing deeply beneath it all, seeing deeply through it all to a near psychic dimension. Seeing the potential for love, the souls, the union. Quincunx to Neptune, we're creating heaven on earth. We're opening to our creativity. We're being carried, we're flowing, and we can see the shadow. The work at hand, all at once. The digging that must happen, the problems that need to be addressed, the blind spots that we need assistance and relationships and help to mirror and reflect back. What are those blind spots? And to be able to provide this in a supportive, caring, not drilling or scrutinizing or tearing down type of way, but a type of precision honed. Hey, I see your potential, and this is, maybe I can provide a little bit of this to help out, or maybe I can, kind of step in and help you to not have to carry all that load on your shoulders. Maybe people need a little bit more space and time just to digest and come to terms with their own shadow and their own process in their own way at their own pace. With this type of Mercury aspect, we can see so deeply in between the lines. We need to make sure that we're not missing what's the actual writing on the page. It must be kind of hard to be born under this aspect natally. Now, we are challenged to communicate ourselves, what we see and what we see in the world, what we see in ourselves, what we see in the world. But there is the potential to open to a stream of consciousness and be its messenger. We all have to learn to be messengers of the light and the shadow in healthy, supportive, emotionally intelligent, and authentically caring types of ways. This is, again, us going down into the hell realms where others are putting out the call, us putting the call out to where we are in our own struggles, where we have our own core unmet needs. And this is what's going to really open up this energy exchange, this heart circling, cycling. And then it's like we all get to support each other in unique ways. Somebody's at this part of the ship, somebody's at the wheel, somebody's under the deck, someone's on the deck. You know, we are a part of this spiritual mechanism raising the elevator of the human species at this time in a big way. And there's going to be some pushes and shoves and some electrical bolts and some traumas and some electricity, but it's all a part of getting this thing moving. Now, I'll quickly mention Saturn in Aquarius is a part of this new moon, opposite to the new moon. So again, we can't allow the rejection, the isolation, the misunderstanding of others, the authorities who already built their own cruise ship or built their own communities, and they're doing it in a hard, fast type of way, and they're scrutinizing us, and they've got their own beliefs, they've got their own objective perspectives, which are different. We can't allow those older structures and, you know, intellectual-based systems and how communities have done it before to squash the experimentation, the self-discovery. This new moon is square to Uranus. It's time to let the cat out of the bag. It's time to be our naturally eccentric weirdos, because therein lies our greatest gifts. We have to first let the cat out of the bag. Again, the whole world is driven by two things, fear and insecurity, fear and insecurity. We have to fight. We have to push up against the fear and insecurity and not conform. So first we need safe and supportive spaces to self-discover. Who are we? What do we really want to do? Mars is square the nodes. We have to discover our unique desires. We need a freedom to explore and discover who we are in order to do this. So first we must discover, this is my divine weirdo. I like to express myself this way. I would have been expressing myself this way since day one if it weren't for my parents and then teachers and then bosses. That's us. That's our soul. That's our truth. When we let that cat out of the bag, we come back to this illuminescence, this light, this spontaneity that is our inner child, and simultaneously one and the same with our inner sage, our inner guru. This spontaneity is leading us back to our uniqueness. It's not about being perfect. It's about honoring our expression and allowing ourselves to be liberated. Anyone who's a creative genius, anyone that's a healer, anyone that's a pioneer has to embrace this evolutionary crux, this turning point in our soul's evolution where we become confident in ourselves, Leo, without being dependent on the group or the community's feedback. See, that's where we need to be careful with this Saturn in Aquarius, because this can be real social pressure. This can be the scrutinization of others and their past backgrounds and whatever. And do they really know us? In order to know us, there must be safe space, intimacy, connection. So we can't take all that stuff way out there overly seriously. It's not accurate. And again, this is actually an evolutionary need. It's not us being punished. It's not just like a mindless challenge. We have to be courageous. Here is the opportunity with this new moon in Leo, this seed, to anchor, to sow the seed in our hearts, to be courageously ourselves, to go against the grain where necessary. This is how we're resurrecting. We're lifting up the human species, the elevator of our species wants to go up. That was like a jet or something. Haven't seen that before. Interesting. Einstein was a very Aquarian Pisces soul. As the story goes, he used to hop on his bicycle and ride in circles for hours. That's how he received his creative downloads. That's how he thought. That's how he processed. Listen, whatever works for you. Who cares how crazy, how eccentric, how strange? If it tunes you in, if it gets you centered, if it gets you charged, that's your track. That's going to fill you up, and then you have more to share. This is how we become fountainheads to the world. This is the only way to do authentic spiritual service and work. Okay, so we can get really empowered under this new moon. And we can be building communities, but it's going to be individuals supporting each other, acknowledging each other, allowing everybody to have their part of the stage, allowing everybody to get their 5 minutes of fame. This is how we're really going to be transforming these communities in a way that can become enormously progressive. I hope you're excited because things are not about to slow down. We've got several dimensions to penetrate through, bust out of, and then we're Willy Wonka's great glass elevator in coming weeks and months. So don't be afraid to light that fuse, even if we're challenged and frustrated. That's the necessary friction that's going to be like a stick of dynamite blowing out any of the old limiting definitions. We're going to really feel that old snake skin that wants to come off, and that is the symptom that the snake skin is coming off. It feels itchy. As always, thank you so much for listening. I'm just a trumpeter, I'm just a signpost, but I feel lucky to point out that there are amazing things happening in our world now and coming quickly. And if you feel at all excited to connect or share with other eccentrics, pioneers, witches, crazy people, astrologers like minds, you're always invited to join my community, RasaLilaCommunity.com. It is free to join for all. I also have paid membership subscriptions such as the Astro School, my Q&A Circle, where you can bring in your birth chart, ask a specific question, and I can get back to you. We meet once a month for that Q&A Circle. So I am very much looking forward to continued connecting and sharing. As always, keep yourself protected. Take care. May your inner flame be ever growing in strength, in luminescence, so that way we can begin this journey of holding up our candles for one another, being the light bearers on this earth.